Hi everyone, this is my pool plan for the Cydia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia global version of the game in the second half of March 2021, and specifically this video will be covering banners and events where Paladin Cecil will be the featured synergy character throughout. As always, some quick disclaimers before going into the actual pool plan. So first of all, my pool plan is very personalized to my own wants and needs, and they may or may not be ideal for everyone else. I'm a big believer that there are various strategies and ways to complete the most difficult battles in the game, so there are always different ways or different characters that you can pull for that will help you to complete Lufenia fights. Therefore, there's always many factors that should be considered when deciding to pull, such as your current resources in gems and tickets, who do you currently have MLB in your current roster, what content do you actually need to clear, and of course, who your favorite characters are. Personally, my plan tends to be heavily influenced by Chaos Challenge quests, so I try to have at least enough characters or enough synergy characters that I can take to the Chaos Challenge quest. And I also, of course, try to pull for characters that I feel will fulfill certain gaps or holes in my roster, and of course characters that will help me out in future content as well. So first of all would be the banners featuring Paladin Cecil, and it will be on the Hellroom raid event. There's going to be two banners here. The first banner will have Paladin Cecil, Laguna, and Jacked, and the second banner will have Kamlanot, Barret, and Fang. Paladin Cecil's BT will be on both banners, but his LD weapon, which is newly released here, will only be on the first banner. Whereas on the second banner, you have a rerun of Kamlanot's LD, so if you missed him the first time round and you wish to pick him up, this is a great place to pick up Kamlanot as well. Now, by now, I'm sure you've seen many hype and news surrounding the release of Paladin Cecil, and he is a top tier meta character and probably the best character in March 2021. So if there's one character that you want to break bank and spend your resources on, this would be the character to spend, and he will be very helpful in the near future, and in fact even months down the line he will probably still be useful in certain fights. So he gives you a great return of investment in your resources should you choose to invest in Paladin Cecil. Now for me, I already have Paladin Cecil EX and 15 and 35 CP, and he's currently at full 3-3 realization, which means I really only need his LD and burst weapon. I will be actually just throwing tickets until I score Paladin Cecil's LD. That's my plan. And if I don't get his LD weapon after a few hundred tickets, then I will switch to gems to try to score the LD weapon. And if my luck is really terrible, I will pity his LD weapon just because he is really worth that amount of resources. By now I also have 50 BT tokens saved up, and there are no other characters that I have real need for their burst weapon for. So by the end of this arc, if I still did not get Paladin Cecil's burst weapon, I will just token for it and complete Paladin Cecil that way. And for the reason that I can just token his burst weapon, that is why I actually do not go straight into gems on this banner, because if I use ticket, there's always a chance that I may get lucky and score his LD weapon very early on with minimal ticket investments. As for Kamlanot on the second banner, I will be skipping him. I skipped Kamlanot the first time round, and so I actually do not have any gear of Kamlanot at all. And at this point of the game, he is still a solid character, but I really don't have a need for him in my team. I have other characters who can disable, I have other characters who have attack debuffs, and of course I have other characters with ice element, chief of which of course is Onion Knight, who was recently released. So he is a good character, but it's just I feel that everything that he can do, I have other characters who can also fulfill the same role, and for that reason, I think I will be skipping him so that I can throw my tickets on Paladin Cecil. Next up after that is going to be Case's Lost Chapter, featuring the release of Case's LD weapon. And I'm a big fan of Case actually, although recently he sort of dropped off a little bit. He is still usable as a launch character. It's just that there were other launch characters recently released, such as Dark Knight Cecil or Ramza with his LD weapon. With the release of Case's LD weapon, I think it really puts him up there in terms of top tier launch oriented character, and it really opens up a lot of potential interesting party combinations centering around the launch mechanic. So for example, you can have Ramza, Dark Knight Cecil and Case, or have Cloud, Case, and a third character who has strong battery such as Penelo or Hope, and Case will enable them to launch after they battery the party. So that there's a lot of launch shenanigans that you can get into with Keys, and for that, to me at least, I feel he has value in that. So I will continue to throw tickets until I score Case's LD, and hopefully if I still did not have Paladin Cecil's burst weapon here, I might score it while I chase after Case's LD weapon. Right after that, we have the rerun of Gebrand's and the new release of Gebrand's LD. And I believe at this stage of the game, Gebrand also receives a minor rework. Nothing too groundbreaking. I believe there were a few additional skill users added to him. And his LD weapon overall makes him a stronger character. It hits very hard, and at the plus version, it hits 3 times and it refunds the entire party with Brave. And it also will unbreak and re-break the enemy if it's at a plus version. So it strengthens his role as a instant breaker, similar to what Ramza can do with his shout ability. And on top of that, Gebrand also packs very nice debuffs as well. He has a frame debuff that can potentially inflict up to 40% attack down, and that will actually stack very nicely with the attack down from Vincent, giving you a total of 130% attack down if you run Gebrand and Vincent together. So I skipped Gebrand the first time around on his release, and for that reason I don't have many of his gear. I will probably use gems on this banner, and the main reason for that is there are many weapons that I don't have yet on this banner that I could potentially use, and that's usually for me one of the reasons why I will go gems over tickets. I will be aiming until I get Gebrand's EX and LD weapon, and hopefully also at this point of the game, if I don't have Paladin Cecil's burst weapon, this would be the banner where I hope to score his burst weapon while I chase Gebrand's weapons. But like I said at the start of the video, I do have 50 burst tokens, so I will stop pulling once I got Gebrand's LD, and if I didn't get Paladin's burst weapon by then, I will just token for it. Lastly, at the sort of near the end of March, we are expecting a rerun of the Start Dash banner, which features all of Squall, Cloud, and Lightning's weapons up till their burst weapons as well. And in the JP side of the game, Squall got a rework during the release of this banner, so I believe it will be the same in the global version of the game as well. Squall becomes a very top tier DPS after his rework because he does his blasting zone follow-up LD move as a follow-up after every single attack, which leads to tremendous DPS on his side. Because of that, if you don't have Squall at this point of the game, personally I would recommend to pull on this banner. Not only because Squall is great, but you also get two other top tier characters in Cloud and Lightning as well. So overall, this is really a quality banner that will help you fulfill roles in your party, especially if you need DPS characters. For me though, I will probably skip this banner, and the main reason for that is I already have all three characters fully built. I do lack Squall and Lightning's burst weapons, but if you've seen all my pool plan videos so far, I never spend resources on a banner if the only weapon I'm missing is the burst weapon, because I feel it's just potentially too big an investment to put in when the rates are very low for burst weapons. So that's it for this video. Long story short, in summary, I will be throwing tickets for Paladin Cecil's LD, and I will potentially even throw gems if I get very unlucky for the tickets. I will throw tickets as well for Kaiser's LD, and I will use gems for Gobrand's weapons, skip Start Dash banner, and by the end of this arc, if I still don't have Paladin Cecil's burst weapon, I will just spend the 50 burst tokens for it. Now in terms of MLB priorities, so this is what I would personally recommend to invest your ingots on if you have limited ingots. So far and foremost, Paladin Cecil I think really deserves your hard-earned ingots. Like I said, he becomes top tier DPS and aura bot support for a very long time. After Paladin Cecil though, I put here in order of 2, 3 and 4 Kais, Gobrand and Squall. However, really I would rate all three roughly at equal footing, and it really depends on what roles you currently miss in your team. So for example, if you need DPS, then Squall is a fantastic character to pick up on if you don't have him yet, and I would probably rate him number 2 in that scenario. Or if let's say you need a launcher and you missed recent launches such as Dark Knight Cecil, then Keys would probably be a better target for your gems, tickets and ingots. And Gobrand is a great utility character in the form of powerful debuffs and instant break mechanics. So if you don't have a character that can do this yet, then Gobrand will be a great addition to your roster. So that's it for this video. As always, I hope this has been somewhat informative. If you do enjoy the content, of course, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps a lot. And of course, feel free to share in the comment section your own pool plans as well. It will make for great discussion. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.